Up top for Emilio. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, we'll put you in the middle, okay?
And right up here, go for it.
I mean, I think it's the great thing about the play is it is dealing with something that is very current and inherently part of the politics of the moment, but without being in any way political. Like we're not talking about Trump. We're not talking about the words fake news are not mentioned. We're not talking about Kellyanne Conway. It really is about the difference between truth in a kind of emotional, poetic sense, like how the emotional truth of a situation to the actual empirical, factual truth of the situation. And those are the sort of the things that me and John represent and are at loggerheads about. But I do think, I hope that it will be able to discuss the politics of the moment without actually being a political play, which I think is a good way to get people to be receptive to it. There's nothing really quite like live theatre as an actor in terms of getting like an adrenaline rush. There's film I love, and I love being on film sets, but it's not, you don't have the same like fear to overcome every night, and then in overcoming that fear there's something very exciting about it. I also think it does something for my confidence as an actor to know that I can survive in an environment without an editor and all the other kind of safety nets that you have in film. And I think there's something about it that sort of just keeps you honest, and you can't slack off for a day. You can't be not paying attention for a moment, particularly in this play. Yeah, so I play a character called Jim Fingal, who is a fact checker who gets assigned to fact check an article by an author called John DeGata, who is not used to having to work within sort of journalistic standards and limits of accuracy, so I'm kind of sent in to fact check the article, and in doing so uncover so many half-truths and little elisions of the truth that have been made throughout the course of the article. And I really just go in and make Bobby Cannavale's life hell for a few days. And Emily Penrose, played by Cherry Jones, is the publisher who has to decide whether or not, at the end of my fact-checking process, to publish the article. But yeah, I don't wake up every day and go like, oh my God, I'm Daniel Radcliffe, how crazy. But I do wake up every day and go, how crazy that I am allowed to do this job and get to do what, in my opinion, is the best job in the world. And people keep giving me opportunities to do it. So yeah, I will keep taking them as long as they do.
Oh, well, the rehearsal process is one of the reasons that I like to keep coming back to the theater. It's my favorite element of putting a show together. I love creating something from nothing, just these words on a page, and then you spend 3-4 weeks with a bunch of people who have no idea what's going to end up happening, and then you create this thing, and it's unlike any of the other mediums. It's one of the reasons, big reason why I keep on doing it. Well, when I was approached to do the play, Daniel and Cherry were already set, so that made it very easy for me because I've been a fan of Cherry's for going on 25 years or so. We've been friends for a long time, but I've always wanted to work together. So that was one, she and Daniel. So I thought, well, if they're doing it, it must be good. And then I read it, and the play was like a speeding train. It just took me, and it left me with a lot of questions that I think the audience is going to have, and that's what makes for great theater, I think, being left with a bunch of questions, no real answer, and it becomes a real conversation piece, so that's what really attracted me to it.
Thanks. Is this all of me, or just... I'm appearing with Daniel Radcliffe and Bobby Cannavale in The Lifespan of a Fact, and I was drawn to it because of the script, and then because of them. Because I got the script first, and I blazed through it, and I'm a very slow reader. I couldn't put it down. I couldn't stop reading it. I've been wanting to get back on stage because it's my home, and then to know I got to work with Dan and Bobby was the capper. So I'm happy as could be. As they say in the sermon, 2 T's. We're on a slippery slope, I think, as a nation when we no longer agree on at least empirical facts. There seems to be no such thing anymore, and that's dangerous for the country. So it'll be interesting to see if there is a debate after the play when people are walking home, or if they all come down on one side, or it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing what the conversation is afterwards.
Okay, right here.
No idea. That might have been all they needed of Holly in that last season. I, of course, hope I get to go up and play with Lizzie Moss again, because that was a great thrill, because I'm a great admirer of her seamless acting.